Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be talking about the newer leather from Portland Leather called Badlands. I had a lot of questions in the Facebook group and requests to do this video. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but if you're interested in this new leather and its characteristics, I'm going to be comparing it with some other popular leathers from Portland Leather. I think that that's the best way to help describe this leather because it is very different in my opinion. Before we get started, I would like to mention that I am currently still a Portland Leather ambassador. I do have my affiliate link in the description below, and I really appreciate it when you use that. I do earn a small commission from your sale. It doesn't cost you any more, but it also, more importantly to me, shows Portland Leather that I am sharing their products. That's the way you stay an ambassador, and so I appreciate you sharing my link. If you happen to be watching this video in the next week, there is a Labor Day sale ongoing with Portland Leather. I will leave the Labor Day code in the description box as well with my link, and then if you're here later, you'll just see my usual code SAMPLANS that you can use for the usual 25% off. Let's get started talking about this leather now. So Badlands is one of the newest leathers that Portland Leather has offered on the website as like a standard color for bags. Right now it is only available in the mini and this full crossbody, which is my personal favorite for my regular everyday carry. So I have it in the mini, which is where it was available first, and I assumed that it would probably come out in the medium, which is also very popular. I was shocked to see that they released it in this full crossbody second, which in my opinion, this bag does not get enough love for new colors. The mini seems to get all the good stuff. And then I know that it's easier to do like wallets and like little circle bags and things like that when they have limited leathers because they don't need as much leather as this bag. So I was very happy to see another leather available in this bag. I hope that there are more to come because this is an underrated bag. I think when you see people talking about their bags, I just really like this bag's shape and structure. My everyday carry, I do have a collection of this particular style, but this is my everyday carry. I got my wallets all stuck out here. I just got back from the dentist. All right, so this is my everyday carry. This is the bag that you're gonna see me use 90% of the time or more. So this is the Honey full size crossbody, and I really love this smooth leather that has a little bit more structure to it. It does soften as you use it. I've been helping the handles soften by kind of going like that with them every once in a while. They were a bit more structured than this when I first received it. So to compare the Honey and the Badlands, they're both pretty structured. Question that I often get about Badlands is it waxy feeling? And I would say that, I guess in a way, I know that Canyon, which I have not tried, is very matte looking in pictures, which is the reason why I haven't chosen it. I also have the Lava, which is also very matte looking and has a more reddish tone. This one has more of a warm brown in the highs and then a dark, I don't know, more like cold brew color in the lows. And for me, I'm a sucker for texture and variation, and that comes from a pull-up leather. So a pull-up leather means that if you scrunch it, roll it, or flip it, as the term is used in the groups. So if you take this bag and you flip it inside out and you roll it up and you scrunch it up, you're gonna see a lot more variation between highs and lows in the coloring. Now this is full grain leather. All of Portland Leather products are full grain leather, and that means that it hasn't been treated in a way to remove imperfections. Top grain leather is usually like pressed into pebbling, and so all of the pieces are going to look the same, and that's nothing like what this bag is. So every bag is going to be unique. Every bag is going to be different from one another. And that is something that has always drawn me to these leathers. I just think that they look so beautiful. I did flip my mini. I have not flipped this bag yet. And I feel like because of the size, it's not as stiff and structured as the mini felt, which was surprising to me. But when I saw my friend Lori's mini, she brought it to work yesterday, I remembered that doing all of that also kind of just makes the leather softer. So I would say that when I touch this, it feels different than the veg tan leathers for sure. But when I touch it, I guess I don't think immediate waxy. Some waxy leathers are like wet feeling on the inside, and they can kind of leach onto your items that you have inside of the bag. And this bag isn't like that at all. So I'm not sure exactly what they treat it with to make this particular leather, but when I touch it, I don't have any kind of issues. I know that, people have texture problems and are very tactile, and this one doesn't bother me at all. But I will be flipping this one just to get some softness into the bag. So this bag is a pebbled leather, but it's more structured than most pebbled leathers, and I have a few examples for you. Let's see here. So a couple of the bags that you're going to be familiar with, probably this one is the nutmeg. I haven't used this one yet, actually. For me personally, I prefer the smooth leathers in this bag over the pebbled leathers. For the crossbodies, like the hobo looks or the boho looks, I usually like a pebbled leather because I like the slouchy look. But for this particular bag, if I'm carrying all of the things, I like to have a more structured bag because I feel like what I'm carrying stays neater inside of here. Now, if it's a day when I'm not carrying all the things and I have it less filled, I don't mind throwing some things in here and having it slouchy. I do love a bag that hugs you, and the nutmeg is definitely going to do that. Another example, so before I do that, let me show you kind of side by side. So see how the nutmeg is you can tell immediately that the handles, it's just softer than this one. And if you flip them around, and this one has the strap as well, it's just on the inside. See how this one's standing and this one wants to slouch? So that's the nutmeg. One of the most beloved leathers that Portland Leather offers for very good reason. It's just beautiful. And then I also recently acquired a unicorn, and this is Forest. I have not used it yet. But again, this is also a pebbled leather, but as you can see, it's also pretty slouchy. Oh, I just love this. Delicious. I haven't used it, so I still have the unicorn label here. This one I received, I found it with like the Facebook groups. There's Portland Leather Groupies. That's a group that will also, it will do two things. It will fuel your addiction, but they also have a lot of albums in there where you can do like buy, sell, trade. So that I really appreciate. Two pebbled leathers, very different. The Forest is much slouchier. And then I'll give you the most drastic comparison. This is the Dune. This was my first full-size crossbody, and the Dune has since been discontinued, which I am very sad about because I love this leather. This guy is the floppiest of all, and this one, it barely stands up. So this was my, like I said, first experience with this particular bag, and while I love it in other sizes and different bags, it's my favorite of their tote backpack, that one kind of annoyed me because I felt like nothing stayed neat and tidy inside of the bag. But I've since learned, like I said before, like with the nutmeg, that if I'm not carrying all of the things, I don't mind it. Also, if you're a person who doesn't mind using a purse organizer, I prefer pouches, but a purse organizer would give you some more structure with these pebbled leathers. So if you look back at this bag, when Comparing it to the other pebbled leathers, it's going to be more structured like the smooth leathers. So I feel like you kind of get the best of both worlds. If you love pebbled leather and you love a bag that's going to have texture and variation, but you want it to be just a little bit more structured than the pebbled leathers, I think that this is going to be the best of both worlds for you. I will be taking pictures of this before and after the flipping. A couple of other things that I'll note. I feel like against even the honey and the other pebbled leathers, the edges of the Badlands are just a little bit more rough feeling, and the handles feel that way as well. However, after you flip them, that stiffer feeling definitely softens up. So I guess it just depends on your personal preference. But I think that this is a beautiful addition to the lineup. Me personally, as much as I like the look of the Canyon leather, I'm not a fan of bags that like look or feel dry. So I obviously, because I bought this one and not the Canyon, I am just more drawn towards a bag that has some shine to it. It's not like glossy, but it does have, let's see, if we would compare it to like paint, I would say this one has more like a satin finish to it, and definitely not matte. And that does not lose that after you flip it. The leather is also just a little bit thicker feeling than the others, but I'm not sure if that is because of that like stiffer structured nature to it, or if it's actually thicker than the other leathers. I think that this one has been pretty popular, so I would look for them to expand this. I know that the medium crossbody is a very popular size. I still prefer the full crossbody or the mini. The mini is the one that I usually go to if I am off work. I kind of cycle through a couple of smaller bags. The toaster, the mini, and then the bucket bag are my favorite bags to use on my days off. And then if I'm working or if I'm running to like Bible class or something like that, I always pick this full-size tote. It's also talked a lot about, smells so good, the smell of the leathers. Some of the leathers like nutmeg and cold brew and the black bags can have a stronger, I guess, smell of dye to them. And I would say that the Badlands does not. It has a pleasant leather smell first as soon as you get it out of the box, and I didn't feel like I needed any kind of like airing out time. Some people absolutely adore the smell of the darker leathers after they've had their dyeing process, and other people are just more sensitive. You know, you have asthma, breathing trouble, allergies. I think that if you are someone who has been sensitive to smells from the darker leathers in the past, you're not going to have the same issues with that bag. So that's something else that you might be looking out for. I think that I've covered everything about this bag. If there's something that you were hoping that I would point out in this video that I haven't, leave a question or comment in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with an answer if I have it for you. So I hope that this video was helpful. I thought that comparing the new Badlands leather might be the best way to help people understand the difference between this and other leathers and kind of give an overview of its qualities. If you do place an order through my link, please leave me a comment either here on YouTube or over on Instagram. Tag me in your posts when you get your order in. I love seeing what everybody chooses. There are so many beautiful bags to choose from Portland Leather. I still don't have every single style that there is and have to restrain myself. I usually like to collect something that I love a lot. So I have several of these, several of the minis. I'm just kind of still needing to branch out a little bit. So let me know what you've chosen. Tag me in your posts and let me see pictures. I love seeing everybody's differences, character variations, and how you're using your bags. So don't forget to tag me. If you have any other questions or comments, I'd love to talk bags with you in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye guys.